Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to the free astrotheology course. I am Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Okay, let's pick it up. This is class number 3. Can you believe it? I'm not 3, 123. The Astrology of the Old Testament, or The Lost Word Regained, published in 1892. The author is Carl Anderson. All right. Okay, so let's pick it back up, y'all. I think we're on page 200 and what are we? Oh, sorry, page 201. Is it 201? Yeah, page 201. Oh, by the way, it just came to my mind. On page 200, let me check the signal. On page 200, you'll see there's a discussion about the Garden of Eden, which traces back to celestially. So let's trace this back now from the Bible story to the solar zodiac. So Garden of Eden traces back to Virgo, right? Virgo traces back to, let's go into now the circumpolar zodiac projection, the celestial ship of the north, the celestial North Pole. The Garden of Eden is, of course, Mount Zion. Mount Zion is, of course, Mount Meru, M-E-R-U. And of course, the vowels are interchangeable. So let's change the vowels to just an O, and we get Mount Moro. Mount Moro. Okay, Moro, of course, means moor. M-O-O-R, or Muir, M-U-U-R. In other words, the mountain of the Moors. Okay, when you look up when you look up land, as I always say in the law dictionary, you're going to see that one of the definitions for land, of course, is moor. So, Mount Zion, Mount Moru, as they say in Vietnam, same, Mount Moro. And of course, Moro means more. And if you go to the Philippines, you'll still find the Moro people, who are the Moors. All right, who are the Moors? Anyway, there are 4 rivers that are mentioned here. The four river heads. That's a very interesting story. Of course, the Garden of Eden, the Tree of Life, in the middle of the garden, right? So if it's in the middle of the garden, it would be in the middle of the celestial North Pole, and its branches extend outward, and the fruit on those branches would be the stars. Okay, and then the pole extending from the north celestial pole, the tree trunk, extending down all the way to the southern celestial pole. This is where our ancestors got the concept of a totem pole. All right, of a totem pole. And then, of course, the roots extend into the earth, and the four river heads, cardinal points. But there's a lot of this in the Celestial Ship of the North. So I'm getting this information from the Celestial Ship of the North. I don't remember if it's volume 1 or volume 2. Okay, but it is in there. Okay, Mount Moru, Mount Moro. That, I'm sure that's in volume 1. But the Tree of Life and its branches, and the fruit on the branches being all of the stars. Can you imagine that? Just imagine a tree extending from the north to the south celestial pole, and then its branches spreading out all over space and it bears fruit, uh, blossoms, and those blossoms are the stars. That's quite beautiful, right? And then, of course, the roots are different, actually different worlds where different beings have habitation. But that's another story. I just want to bring it to you all's attention in case you want to do some studying on your own. But now remember the Ta cross. I'm still reflecting on page 20, page 200. The Ta cross, Ta. So in the ancient Phoenician, this would be the Ta. This is the Roman numeral X, or X, the X alphabet, or the number 10. Everybody follow me? And the reason why this is significant, now I'm going to spend maybe 2 or 3 minutes more on this, and then we'll get into the coursework. But the reason why the Ta is significant is because it's beginning with Taurus the bull, or Baal, or Baali, right? So that would be the first, in my estimation. This is the zodiacal age, where the Osirians were able to come into power through warfare, through deception, warfare, violence, birthright theft. They came into power. All right. So it would have been through the age of Taurus. Okay, so cow worship, and then you can correlate that takes you right into the time of Moses, right? Every zodiacal age is approximately 2,160 years, if my memory is correct, or thereabout, y'all. So since there are 4 cardinal points in the Ta, just multiply that by 4, right? So 2 times 4 is 8, and then so 2,100. So 4 times 1 is 4. So tack on another 400 to that, right? Right, y'all? And then 6 times 4. So tack on 24. All right, so that gives you how many years we're working with in terms of, or let me rephrase that. When the Osirians came to power, so you tack on each zodiacal age, Taurus, Baali, right, worship of the bull. Moses comes down, he finds the Israelites, they are building, or they have built, crafted a golden calf. Okay, that golden calf would have been Baali, or the zodiac sign Taurus. That is an interesting thing. So the way I learned it is that the Israelites, they didn't want to leave, they didn't want to exit, or they were not aware, or they didn't believe Moses, that the zodiacal age was changing. They did not want to leave the age of Taurus. So that's what the golden calf represented. It's gold because the sun is gold, and the sun is in the constellation Taurus, so the zodiacal age is Taurus. But the zodiacal ages were changing, right? They were changing. So it was going from Taurus, and due to the precession of the equinox, it would move backwards, right? So it would go from Taurus to Aries, right? To Aries. Aries the lamb. And the Egyptians, so that was the way I initially learned it. Okay, so the Israelites, they didn't want to change zodiacal ages. So Moses comes out of the mountain. His some Bible translations will say his face shone with brilliant light. His face was glorious. Others will translate that word as he had horns. Okay, so those horns would have been the horns of a ram. So the ram's horns, in mythology, and that carried over into, allegedly carried over into history. This is supposed to be why kings in ancient times, they say, wore a headdress and it had horns. So it was a ram's horn, the king. Do y'all see where this is going? Aries, the Lamb of God, the Solarites, right? The Solarites made Soot, Soot, which is Sirius the dog star, the firstborn the firstborn star that is predominantly masculine. Therefore, metaphorically, the firstborn sun. The Solarites, the Osirians, remixed Soot into Sebek Ra, and then put a crown of horns on his head. Do y'all see where I'm coming from? So that crown of horns, the ram's horns, had to have taken place at that time, at the end of Taurus and the beginning of Aries. Okay, so it had to be at that time. All right, y'all. That's my point. So we have with the Ta cross, you'll see the ancient pharaohs with their hands like this, right? With a a staff in one hand? I don't remember, but y'all get the point. So Taurus, Leo, and then down here, Scorpio. So that's the eagle, and then over here, Aquarius. So of course, those are the origin, or let me rephrase it. So the four living creatures in Ezekiel chapter 1 and also Revelation, the book of Revelation, they trace back to the Ta cross, or Taurus, the head of a bull, Leo, the head of a lion, Scorpio, the head of an eagle. It was an eagle before it was a Scorpio, and then the man, of course, would be the head of would be Aquarius, the head of a man. Okay, y'all, and of course, the cherubim lies in the between the four cardinal signs. The cherubim lies between, and then according to the Solarites, God is in the middle, or the sun is in the middle, right? The central sun. Does everyone see that? All right. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's go to page 221. So we stopped at, well, I'm not going to go into this, but I want y'all to, on your free time, study this image. You should see a cross. You should see the Christian cross, the vertical and horizontal lines running perpendicular to each other. Okay, those angles at the intersection are 90-degree angles, right? And that circle around the image, that's the circle that our ancestors, or that's the boundary around which our ancestors drew around that which is boundless. Okay, and from this you can even get the celestial clock, or the clock of destiny, all right? Which would be the tail of the Great Bear, the tail of the Big Dipper, or the handle of the Big Dipper in the north, and then sit the dog star in the south, and then you have a clock of destiny, celestial clock. And then of course you can see the X, or the Roman numeral 10, which is the Ta cross. Okay, y'all see that? Y'all see the zodiac signs? Y'all see Taurus, Leo, Virgo, and Aquarius? You should also correlate this with C.M. Bay's work. When the Moor is laying on his side, he's civilly dead. His head is in the west, meaning his consciousness is in the solar religions, okay, or the solar zodiac, and his feet are in the scales, Libra, So the curses, or the law of cause and effect, are being executed on him, and he's in a civilly dead state, undergoing the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right? For not living in harmony with the Most High's laws, which is basically don't harm anyone, don't injure anyone, don't steal. But when the Moor stands erect, his head becomes a North Pole, which is a circumpolar zodiac projection, which is science, engineering, technology, time cycles. Okay, y'all, and his feet represent the celestial South Pole, which are the principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which are equivalent statements to don't injure anyone, don't harm anyone, or just don't steal. Everybody see that? Now look at the angles. The angles between the X are 120 degrees. 120 degrees angles. And if you look at that X, if you move them together so that they overlap, you get the 6-pointed star. In religion, they call it the Star of David. Let me see if I can point this out to y'all. You get the 6-pointed star. And, well, I'll just show y'all my notes. So do you see the six? Look at the bottom paragraph. You get the 6-pointed star. Take a look at the top paragraph. The first triangle and the second triangle. Look at what they represent. Pause this on the replay. Y'all can read it. All right. So the first triangle represents the North Gate. Of course, North Gate, that's North America. In terms of the seasons, North Gate, that would be summer season. The second triangle represents the South Gate. Of course, that would be winter season. So he's correlating this with the summer and winter solstice, okay? June 21, 22 for the summer solstice, and then December 21, 22, 23 for the winter solstice. Now that's still the cardinal points in the solar zodiac projection. Okay, y'all? So remember, those four corners are a remix. They're a remix of the four corners that trace back to, have their origin in the thigh of the Great Bear constellation, which today is called the Big Dipper. So the four corners would be the dipper part. Okay, not the handle, but the four corners of the dipper, the four corners of the world, of the universe. Okay, y'all? So the second triangle represents the South Gate, the winter season. These two triangles together form a 6-pointed star. Summer and winter, or north and south. That's all there is. Okay? As above, and the Hermetic Law is as above, so below, as below, so above. So y'all take a look at that. Everybody see that? You see, none of this stuff is religious. None of it is dealing with devils and demons. This is just a way of conveying natural phenomena in a simplistic way. All right, so let me show you the scientific symbols of the zodiac, and you can relate this to the image that we just looked at on page 201. So you see in number 1, we see the squared circle. All right, you see the intersection, you see the vertical and the horizontal line, they're perpendicular, the 90-degree angle at the points of intersection. Y'all see it? 9 times 4 is 360 degrees, which is a circle. Okay, or this is the Christian cross. All right, and then here's the triangle. Do y'all see the triangle? There are 3 sides. Okay, 3, 3, 3. Since it's a triple 3, you could reduce it to 1 and just have a 3, right? 3 would be 33 degrees. Is that correct? 1/3 as a fraction, 33% expressed as a percentage, and y'all can look at my notes. Okay, so I gave you the relationship to this. There are 30 degrees, 30 days in a month. Each day is 1 degree. This is why the sun casts a 1 degree shadow every day, right? So there are 30 degrees per month, 12 months. All right. The sun itself is 3 degrees. Hence you have 33 degrees in Freemasonry, okay? And 33 degrees in a month. So y'all see this is all expressions or ways to express natural phenomena. Do y'all see it? Everybody see it? Of course, 120 degrees reduces down to 1 plus 3 plus 0, which is 3. Do y'all see it? Okay. Nothing complicated about that, right? Very simplistic. So each section, so now take a look at the Christian, the number 1, the Christian cross right here. Let me relate this to Hebrew Israelitism, to the feast days. All right. So you see there are 4 boxes. The circle is divided into 4 quadrants. So those 4 quadrants are 3 months or 90 days. So years ago, maybe I don't know if it was 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere around there, I put together a calendar of the feast days, a calendar for the feast days. And this is the basic concept without going into the intricate details of it. But that's the basic concept of it, okay? But I never published the calendar. It was a good calendar. It was a good calendar. I didn't publish it. I did a lot of stuff that I didn't publish. But anyway, that's the basic concept, y'all. All right, so the feast days follow the agricultural cycles or the seasonal cycles. Okay? All right. Is there anything else interesting to say about this? No? No. Oh, well, let me say this. This is important. So that same circle with the horizontal and vertical line, with the vertical perpendicular, that's where we get, our ancestors came up with the dollar and the 4 quarters, right? Based upon that, it is a reflection of nature or an expression of nature in the monetary system. Okay, y'all? Everybody got that? All right. So everything is better when it reflects, or when it is described or presented in the form of nature. Okay. All right. So y'all, let's finish that up. Let me give you one more look at this before we move on. So I was relating all of that to this image here. So this is Adam Kadmon. That's Adam Kadmon. All right. Okay, y'all. So page 201. Okay, so 2 plus 0 plus 1. So that gives us 3. Right? All right. So here we go. So Libra. So now we're off to a whole different sign now. Okay, so now we're in Libra. Libra is an airy, sanguine, hot and moist, equinoctial, cardinal, movable, masculine, western, diurnal, and humane sign of the airy triplicity. This sign is the ascendant. This sign, rather, in the ascendant denotes one of tall, medium, straight, well-formed body. The first face of the sign being more tall, usually more slender than gross, especially in youth, of a round, lovely, and beautiful visage, a fine, sanguine complexion in youth, both in old age, commonly pimples, or a very high color in the face. The hair yellowish, so we know they're talking about a hybrid, right? Or somewhat tending, unless, of course, no, see, if it was albino, it would say that, right? Or somewhat tending to flaxen in early youth, and turning darker as years increase. So the hair becomes darker. So it gets more melanin, or maybe the melanin becomes more activated. I don't know what the mechanism is, but it gets darker as the person gets older. Long and smooth hair and generally gray eyes. Oh no, so this would have to be a hybrid, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because gray eyes are recessive, and he's giving a general appearance and not the man, why is the word not coming to me? Not the recessive, okay? Not the recessive gene expressions, right, y'all? The diseases of Libra are all infirmities in the reins, back, kidneys, and belly, heats and diseases in the loins, impostumes and ulcers in the reins, as buboes, diseases of the bladder and kidneys, corruption of the blood, and weakness of the back. I wonder what they mean by corruption of the blood in the context of an illness. I wonder if he means like diseases of the blood, because that'll take us in a whole other direction. But let me hold on, give me a second. Y'all remember Moses sprinkled blood on the people after he spoke the covenant? Spoke the Most High's words to the people. Do y'all remember?